in your pregame, this is what you should be doing with your teammates before the game starts. So you should go over team names or other officials' names. Your scorekeeper's name, you need to be able to know their name, because if for some reason they don't start the clock, they give points to the wrong team or anything like that. The quickest way to get their attention, if you know their name, you need to go over what you're going to do when there's a double whistle. So what do you do when there's a double whistle? Talk about it. Thank you. When there's plays like Andy had where there's a 3-point, there's two people marking a 3-point shot. Remember he said he pre-gamed that with his other official, right? So make sure you talk about those kind of things. Basically, anytime that there could be two officials calling the same thing, that's the kind of plays you guys need to be talking about in your pregame, all right? You also can talk about maybe something that you've seen other officials struggle with that you want to make sure is your focus for the game. So maybe if it's block charge, you feel like the crews you worked on so far haven't really called it. Maybe that's something you discuss in your pregame, anything like that. After your pregame, obviously you're only going to do that before the first game because you will work 2 to 3 games a night. After that, you're going to start a captain's meeting before each game. So you're just going to call the captains. That's when you need to go over no jewelry. If they're wearing our jerseys, they have to have sleeves. The timing rules, so go over, okay, we have 2 20-minute halves, 3-minute halftime. Remember, you only have 3 timeouts per half, or per game?
Per half.
Per half. Sorry. Per game. That's what I thought. Per game.
Per game.
And so you want to make sure that they know all those rules so they're not asking them a million times throughout the game. You also want to remind them that the clock is continuous until that last minute. Okay? Because a lot of times teams will say, ball's out of bounds, the clock should be stopped. Well, if you explain that in the pregame with your captains, you don't have to worry about that. You can also go over, if you've seen something, like I said, if you've seen a theme where your teams are playing really physical in the post, just let them know we will be watching that. And then reminding them that sportsmanship does matter out here. Like I said last night, we do give teams sportsmanship ratings at the end of every game, and it does affect whether they go to playoffs or not. So remind our captains that they're responsible for keeping their teams in check. We have an issue with sportsmanship. They're the first one we're going to go to, and we could potentially be calling a technical foul on them if their team is not following in suit, and we can't identify who the player is. So it is their responsibility to make sure that their team knows all the rules, is following all of our compliance rules like jewelry and jerseys and all that stuff, wearing the right shoes. They're also responsible for making sure that their team is acting right. This has to be done before every game. Even if you know both captains have heard it 20 times that semester, because we do it before all of our intramural games, we still need to go over it. Because as soon as that one player's acting up and you call a technical foul on them and the captain's like, I don't understand why we have to worry about sportsmanship rating, you can then reference the pregame that you had with them. Say, oh, we went over this in your captain's meeting, you were there, you remember all that stuff. Okay? You guys have any questions about that pregame stuff? All right, so the next thing we're going to do is the tip-off, and that's all Matt.
Okay, so the first thing you want to do is line them up. So you want to stand here for me? Legang, you want to stand over here? Okay, so I think he'll win. So you want to line them up in the sense where they're not fighting each other and they're not on this line. Because for the referee, you want to be able to stand in the middle and be able to throw it straight up. Before you throw it, you want to make sure your U1 and your U2 are ready. So just make sure they have a thumbs up, and then make sure your scorekeeper's ready. Because if she's not ready or he's not ready, the clock's never going to start. So you announce the colors first. So you would say white, gray, and then you will look away and blow your whistle, because you don't want to blow it right here because they both won't like it. And you want to step in here and throw it. You don't want to stand back here because you can never time it right. You want to throw the ball about 10 feet. Anything higher, anything lower, it's just like, anything lower, he was probably going to win instantly. Anything higher,
We're probably going to both whip.
yeah, and you're going to have to redo it. So just to come up here and just toss it straight up. Just because she's shorter and he's most likely going to win, don't throw it this way to help her out. And make sure no one else is inside the circle. So if Ruben's on Laura's team, make sure he's just outside the circle when you throw the ball up, because one of them has to catch it. They cannot catch the ball after the tip until another player has caught it.
I'm practice.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. Thanks. Okay, yeah, that's pretty much it.
You're about to throw that ball, take the whistle out of your mouth, because if I'm about to throw it and Matt comes down and hits you on top of your head and you have that whistle in your mouth, your teeth, it's not gonna be good for your teeth. So drop the whistle after you blow it and then toss it. Otherwise, you're gonna break your teeth.
And don't be afraid to step in here. If you feel that afraid, just scoot them back a little bit. Not far enough where they have to jump into each other, but just enough so you can get the ball in and just duck out the way. You don't have to stand here and look at the ball go up. As soon as you throw it, just turn away if you're afraid of getting hit in the face. And, yeah, and we're gonna have you guys line up, and we're gonna have each of you guys practice actually throwing the ball up in the air. So, you wanna come first?
One last thing. When you're doing the jump ball, always be facing the table. Don't have your back towards the table, okay?
Yeah.
Just tiny little thing there.
Okay. So you go first.
Are we just throwing it? Are we just throwing it?
Yeah, like just practice it.
I thought he was gonna.
Pretty good one. Wow. Good job. Amazing, Laura. So gifted.
You got it?
A little higher. It's alright, we don't expect everybody to get it right. You can
Do it either way. Like some people would want to come with two hands and throw it straight up.
Yeah.
I normally just come in here, bend my knees, and just throw it straight up.
Yeah, you can do either way.
With a shot?
Yeah.
So the one thing,
But like, don't try to.
you want to
shoot
try to
it.
avoid the rotation.
Yeah.
You want to see if you can just get to go straight up.
Just come straight up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good work.
Okay, so just. Oh. There it is. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Too high?
You don't have to like. You don't have to throw it. Just
I mean, you can
toss
also
it.
go like this. You just come
Yeah.
up like that rather than,
Oh, okay.
rather than
All
going
right.
like with the.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just go straight up and down.
Do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, was that too high or too
You want it to be like at rim level
Yeah.
because that's where most people's vertical is going to end up being.
Yeah. It'll come with practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Too high.
Too high.
Look, if your hand is right here, most people I say what, like 5.5 feet, 5'4", between 5'4" and maybe 6 feet. So you technically, if your arm's up, you're already 7 feet with the ball. So you technically only need to throw it up about 2-3 feet. Okay? So it doesn't, you don't need to like, put a lot into it to put it up. A little low.
A little low?
Yeah. I didn't have to jump on that one.
I'm putting the shoes. No, that was good. It was too low. It was chest there.
Yeah.
It was chest You there. don't want to give him an advantage, so it's hard to do height and keep it in the middle. That was a little off.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty as I'll ever be. Walkie-talkie's weighing me down.
I have one on too.
I want a clean game, okay?
That was good.
I actually had to jump for that one.
But I mean, it's a little bit. It's fine. So the
You
one
just-
thing,
you just
the
wanna
one
try
thing
to make it in the
avoid
middle.
Making it go out that way. Try up, straight up and down.
Because
Yeah.
if you throw it sideways, the ball's going to end up jumping over here. And we're going to end up probably hitting
So
each other in the
you see this
face.
dot right here? Yeah. This is the center of the court. So that's what you want. You want if we weren't sitting here, you were to throw it up. You'd want it to go straight up and then land right.
If you really had to do an arch and you're that scared, stand farther away and just try to toss it and hit that dot.
Yeah.
Don't stand here and throw it over there.
Do one more. Better.
Yeah.
It's something to work on. A little bit higher. Higher.
Yeah, you got it.
And I mean, you can also use two hands. You don't have to do one. If you want to do two, you can go two. You go like this. You just come in, just go.
Yeah.
So you can do two if you feel more comfortable.
There you go.
Right. Good job. A little bit higher. Just a little bit. Right in the middle.
Yeah.
You get it right in the middle, you're good.
You good?
Good.
There you go.
Good job.
That was good though. I like that one. I hope that you're really tall. Oh, a little bit to the side.
Make sure you're not launching that way. Good.
There you go.
Good job.
It's the last one. You want to jump?
One easy way to. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
One easy way to practice it as well. If you have 3 times running the back loop, you're just throwing it up. You can just go in the rim and back down.
Toss just redo it, and that's the
Good height. So that's when you're going to practice also running line.
Yeah.
YouTube.
You're on the line.
That way you face the table to your top.
What do you mean? Turn on.
So you can do 4